Dear ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when we convince ourselves that time has passed us by, that we are too late, too old, too weak, or too broken to step into greatness. But I came here to remind you of one simple truth: your potential has no expiry. Potential is not like milk that sours after a few days. It is not like bread that grows stale after a week. Potential is eternal, untouchable, unshakable. You may bury it under fear, under doubt, under mistakes, but it never disappears. It's waiting inside you, like a seed that can still sprout no matter how long it has been under the soil. Some of you think your season is over, but let me tell you, if you are still breathing, you are still becoming. Your dreams are not outdated, your calling is not expired, and your value is not diminished. Life might have delayed you, but delay is not denial. God's timing does not run according to human calendars. Stop looking at what you lost and start looking at what you still carry. You still carry vision, you still carry power, you still carry purpose, and when you realize that your potential cannot expire, you stop living like a victim of time and start living like a victor over it. Your potential is not a product of age, education, or approval. It is a gift written into your DNA. You are stronger than your scars, bigger than your failures, and more resilient than your past. Don't you dare believe the lie that says, "It's too late for me." It's not too late, it's right on time, because your potential has no expiry. 10 key points of the speech: your potential is eternal. It cannot be limited by time or age. Mistakes may delay you, but they cannot disqualify your purpose. Potential is like a seed. It may lie dormant, but it never dies. If you are still breathing, you are still becoming. Delay is not denial. God's timing is higher than our timing. Stop mourning what you lost and start maximizing what you still have. Your potential is not dependent on approval or validation from others. Every failure adds strength to your future success. Your purpose is written in your DNA. It cannot be erased. It's never too late to rise, because potential has no expiry. Sometimes we look at the calendar and convince ourselves that potential has an expiration date stamped on it. We say things like, asterisk, "I'm too old now. If I was younger, I could have done it. If I started earlier, maybe it would have worked." Asterisk, but let me challenge that thinking. Potential is not bound by age. It is not constrained by years. It is not locked to a specific season of your life. It doesn't matter if you are 18 or 80. If you are still breathing, there is still becoming. Think about it. Nature itself testifies to this. A tree can stand barren in the winter, stripped of its leaves, looking lifeless. People can walk by and assume it's done, that it has nothing left to give. But when spring comes, those branches bloom again. Why? Because the potential for life was never gone. It was only hidden, waiting for the right season to reveal itself. In the same way, your life may look bare, your dreams may seem buried, but the potential inside you is not gone. It is simply waiting for the right moment to break through. Some of the greatest world changers didn't step into their calling when the world expected them to. They didn't peak in their 20s. They didn't explode into influence at the normal age. Some started late, after setbacks, after detours, after decades of being overlooked. But when their moment came, their potential rose because it never expired. It had been preserved, matured, and strengthened by the passing of time. We live in a culture obsessed with speed. Get it fast, achieve it young, make it big early. And if you don't, society whispers, asterisk, you missed your chance, asterisk, but the truth is, the timing of your potential is not dictated by society's stopwatch. The very thing you call too late might actually be just in time for the bigger plan unfolding in your life. Maybe you think you're behind because of mistakes you made. Maybe you wasted years in the wrong job, the wrong relationship, the wrong mindset. But even that cannot erase your potential. Do you hear me? Time doesn't erase it. Age doesn't erase it. Failure doesn't erase it. It's still there. The only way potential loses its power is if you stop believing it exists. So don't let the calendar talk you out of your calling. Don't let your age convince you your best days are behind you. Your potential is eternal, written into your being, and nothing, not time, not years, not the opinions of others, can take it away. Would you like me to expand key point 2 in the same deep and stretched style, like I did here, so you can build the whole speech point by point? Alright, let's expand key point 2. Your mistakes do not cancel your potential. They shape it into a long, flowing Stephen Furtick style rhythm without naming him, starting with energy and depth. Dear ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest lies that keeps people from walking into their full destiny is the belief that mistakes disqualify them. We convince ourselves that because we failed, because we stumbled, because we made wrong choices, we are no longer worthy to rise, to dream, or to try again. But I want to tell you, your mistakes do not cancel your potential. They shape it. Think about this. A diamond doesn't begin as a diamond. It starts as a lump of carbon, hidden, overlooked, ordinary. It must endure fire, pressure, cutting, and shaping before its brilliance is revealed. In the same way, your failures, your regrets, your painful chapters are not the end of your story. They are the fire and the pressure that shape you into the person who is ready to shine. So often we hold on to shame like it's a permanent identity. We say things like, I messed up, so that means I am a mess. But let me tell you the truth. Your mistake was an event, not a definition. What you did is not who you are. What you went through is not where you're destined to stay. Potential doesn't get erased when you fall. It gets sharpened. It gets purified. It gets fueled. Do you know what's powerful? The very area where you've fallen short can become the very area where you rise the highest. The pain you thought would crush you can become the platform that lifts you. The mistakes you thought disqualified you can become the testimony that empowers others. Isn't it true that we listen more intently to someone who's walked through what we're walking through? Isn't it true that we lean closer when someone speaks from scars, not just successes? That's the power of mistake, redeemed mistakes, reshaped mistakes. Let me give you an image. If you've ever seen stained glass, you know it is created from broken pieces. The artist takes shattered fragments that seem useless and unworthy and arranges them into a pattern that reflects light in a way plain glass never could. That's what your life can be. The broken parts are not wasted. The fragments are not garbage. They are arranged into something that shines brighter than anything whole and untouched ever could. You see, the mistake was not the end. It was material. It was part of the shaping. It was part of the preparation. What feels like regret today might be the very thing tomorrow that equips you with wisdom, compassion, and strength to lead others, to love deeper, to live wiser. Stop disqualifying yourself from your own future. Stop letting yesterday's failure be tomorrow's forecast. Your potential is not fragile. It is not erased by wrong turns. If anything, it grows deeper, stronger, and more resilient every time you get back up. Every time you say, that was not the end of me. Got it, let's expand key point 3. Delay is not denial. Your potential is still alive even if it feels buried in a long, passionate Stephen Furtick style rhythm without naming him, keeping it flowing and powerful. Dear ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been in a season where it feels like nothing is moving? You've prayed, you've worked, you've planned, and yet the doors stay closed, the opportunities stay hidden, the breakthrough doesn't seem to come. In those moments it's so easy to believe the lie that delay means denial, that because it hasn't happened yet, it's never going to happen. But I want you to hear me clearly today. Delay is not denial. Just because it feels buried doesn't mean your potential is dead. Think about a seed. When a seed is planted, it disappears under the dirt. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. Days pass, weeks pass, maybe months, and all you see is soil. But under the ground, something powerful is taking place. Roots are forming. Life is developing. Strength is building in hidden places. and at the right time, when the conditions align, what was invisible breaks through the surface and becomes undeniable. That's how your potential works. The truth is, many of us confuse hidden seasons with wasted seasons. But being hidden is not the same as being forgotten. When your dreams are buried in the soil of delay, they are not lost, they are incubating, they are growing stronger, they are becoming prepared for the weight of the destiny ahead. Sometimes the worst thing that could happen is for you to succeed too soon, because if the roots aren't deep enough, the fruit won't last. Delay isn't punishment, it's preparation. I want you to think back to the times you thought something was over. Maybe you thought a relationship was over, a career was over, a calling was over. But here you are, still standing, still breathing, still carrying untapped potential within you. That's proof that delay is not denial. That's proof that the timing of your life is bigger than your clock. The problem is, we often look at the dirt covering our seed and mistake it for a grave. We say, asterisk, this is the end of me, this is where my story stops. Asterisk, but the same dirt that looks like burial is actually the environment for growth. What looks like it's holding you down might actually be positioning you for the moment when you will break through with unstoppable force. Let me remind you, some of the most extraordinary people didn't see the fulfillment of their calling overnight. They endured years of waiting, decades of delays, countless disappointments. But in the end, the waiting only made the reward sweeter, the testimony stronger, and the impact greater. Waiting is not wasted when you understand that it's shaping you, deepening you, preparing you. So don't lose heart when you feel stuck. Don't let the silence of this season convince you that nothing is happening. Underground is still progress, hidden is still growth, dormant is still alive, delay is not denial, and your potential is not expired. You may not see it yet, but it's still in you, waiting for the right time to rise. Perfect. Let's expand *** key point 4. * your worth is not tied to the timeline of others. Your potential is unique and cannot expire just because someone else got there before you *** in a long, passionate Stephen Furtick's style rhythm without naming him. Dear ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest traps we fall into is comparison. We look to the left, we look to the right, and suddenly we start measuring our progress by someone else's timeline. We scroll through social media and see people our age, or young, living in houses we dream about, working in careers we're still applying for, walking stages we're still praying to step on. And in those moments, it's so easy to whisper to ourselves, **, I'm behind, I missed my chance, maybe I just don't have it in me, **, but let me tell you something today, your worth is not tied to their clock. Your journey is not measured by their milestones. Your potential is not diminished because someone else seemed to arrive sooner. Just because they got there before you doesn't mean your arrival has been cancelled. You have your own lane, your own season, your own unique path that cannot be rushed and cannot be compared. Think about it. What sense would it make to compare the blooming of a rose to the growth of an oak tree? One bursts forth with color in weeks, while the other takes years to root itself before it towers strong. Both are beautiful, both serve their purpose, both have undeniable worth, but they flourish on completely different timelines. You can't rush an oak tree into being a rose, and you can't slow a rose down to become an oak. In the same way, your story was never meant to mirror theirs. Some of you have been looking at your friends, your siblings, your colleagues, and you've been secretly carrying shame because your life doesn't look like theirs. You've been asking, **, what's wrong with me? Why am I not there yet? **, but what if nothing is wrong with you at all? What if your timing is simply different because your assignment is different? What if the very thing you've been calling delay is God's way of protecting you, shaping you, and setting you up for something greater than you imagined? We live in a culture obsessed with speed. Faster is better, quicker is smarter. So when someone gets married before you, gets promoted before you, starts a business before you, it can feel like you're losing a race you never signed up for. But life is not a race, it's a journey. And your potential doesn't have an expiration date just because theirs blossomed earlier. Imagine if an athlete quit running simply because someone else crossed the finish line first. The crowd would never see their finish, the reward would never be claimed, the purpose would never be fulfilled. That's exactly what comparison tries to do. Convince you to stop running your race because of someone else's progress. But your race is yours, your finish line is waiting for you, and your potential is still alive, no matter how late it looks in the eyes of others. Let me encourage you with this. The very thing that makes you feel behind might actually be the thing setting you apart. Because when your moment arrives, when your potential bursts forth, when your timing unfolds, it won't look like anyone else's. It will carry a weight, a uniqueness, a glory that only you can carry, and that's why you can't afford to quit. That's why you can't let comparison rob you. That's why you must hold on to the truth. Your worth is not tied to their clock, and your potential has no expiry. Absolutely, let's expand key point 5. Every setback, every delay, every detour is not a denial. It is preparation for what your potential is destined to become in full, powerful length, in that same passionate, uplifting rhythm. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about those seasons of life that feel like nothing is moving. Those moments when you feel stuck, overlooked, or left behind, the doors you knocked on but didn't open. The opportunities you reached for but slipped through your hands, the times you tried and it didn't work. We all know what it feels like to carry the weight of disappointment, to feel the sting of delay, to walk through the fog of unanswered prayers. And if we're not careful, we start believing the lie that delay means denial, that a closed door means our potential is finished. But let me remind you today, every setback is not a stop sign. Every delay is not a dead end. Every detour is not destruction. Sometimes the very things you thought were holding you back are actually holding you together, building a foundation for the potential that hasn't yet been revealed. What looks like rejection can actually be redirection. What feels like failure can actually be formation. Think of it like this. When an architect designs a skyscraper, they don't start by building up. They start by digging down. They spend weeks, sometimes months, going underground, laying concrete, reinforcing steel, pouring into a foundation that no one else even sees. To the casual observer, it looks like nothing is happening. It looks like delay, but in reality, something essential is taking place. Because the taller the building, the deeper the foundation must be. In the same way, the longer the wait, the greater the preparation for what your potential is called to hold. You see, potential doesn't expire, but it does require preparation. And often, preparation comes disguised as setbacks. That job you didn't get, it wasn't denial. It was making room for a greater opportunity that requires the lessons you're learning right now. That relationship that ended, it wasn't failure. It was a necessary release to prepare your heart for someone aligned with your destiny. That season of obscurity where no one noticed you, it wasn't wasted. It was the workshop where your character was being shaped, where your strength was being built, where your faith was being refined. Some of you are in the middle of what looks like delay, and you've been tempted to give up. You've been saying to yourself, if it hasn't happened by now, maybe it's not meant to be. But what if the delay is not punishment? What if it's protection? What if it's preservation? What if it's preparation? You may feel like you're in the wilderness, but even the wilderness has a purpose. It's where roots grow deep, where resilience is built, where trust is strengthened, where faith becomes unshakable. And here's the truth. When the moment comes, when the opportunity finally opens, when the timing aligns, you will realize that none of it was wasted. Every tear, every wait, every no, every setback, it was all part of the preparation. Your potential doesn't diminish because of delay. In fact, delay often multiplies it. Because when the right time comes, you'll be stronger, wiser, more prepared, and more capable of handling what's waiting for you. So don't despise the detours, don't curse the setbacks, Don't assume that delay means denial. Lift your head, steady your heart, and remember, every step backward is often a setup for a leap forward. Every waiting room is a training ground. Every pause has purpose, and your potential, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's only growing, deepening, and preparing for the day it bursts forth in power.